the four angels who will stand with God on Judgment Day. At the end of time, God will sit upon his fiery throne and summon four angels, not to witness, but to execute judgment. First, Michael, the heavenly commander. He will crush the beast and lead the armies of heaven to final victory. Then, Gabriel, the herald of judgment. He will sound the trumpet that shakes the earth and awakens the dead. Next, Raphael, the healer of the Most High. He will not bring healing. He will mark the righteous and lead them to eternal light. And finally, Sariel, the angel of sentence. He will descend in silence, binding the fallen and casting them into the abyss. If you trust in God's final judgment, leave an amen in the comments.
Have you ever felt like you are not good enough for God to use? Have you ever felt that help can never come from certain places and certain people because of mutual differences? Well, the good news is God's ability to use anyone is limitless. As seen in this story, a foreign king who had no knowledge of the God of Israel was chosen by God to fulfill a prophecy years before he was born.
Subscribe for more.
However, his
Please
story
subscribe.
teaches us
Thanks
that
for watching.
God's work is not confined to certain groups of people. He is limitless in his ability to use anyone, anywhere, and for any purpose he deems necessary. Cyrus, a pagan king who had no known relationship with the God of Israel. And yet, God chose him to fulfill a crucial role in the redemption of his people. Another lesson is the fact that even when events seem chaotic or out of our control, God is always working behind the scenes to fulfill his purposes. Cyrus's story helps us understand that even in moments of devastation, God has the power to bring about renewal and healing, like he did with the children of Israel. Finally, it encourages us to trust God's plan, even when it seems unclear. Just as God had a plan for Israel, he also has a plan for each of us. Even in our times of difficulty or waiting, we can trust that God's plan will unfold at the right time and will lead to our restoration, just as it did for the Jewish people under Cyrus. Why was he chosen to end it all? And what happened after the invincible walls of Babylon finally fell? This is the Bible story of King Cyrus the Great, a Persian king whose decree changed everything. What can his story teach us today? A hand, glowing with fire, appeared from nowhere and wrote on the palace wall, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. King Belshazzar, grandson of the mighty King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, was terrified, the meaning of the words echoing in his mind like a death sentence. In the shadow of his grand feast, the future of an empire hung by a thread. But who was this mysterious force? Have you ever felt like you are not good enough for God to use?